The appearance of Jin on the personal channel of Kian84 is far more than a simple entertainment collaboration. Beneath the seemingly spontaneous laughter lies a rare psychological snapshot of a global star navigating between two worlds, dazzling fame and deeply human introspection. When humor becomes a shield against pressure. At the start of the video, Jin sets the tone with a playful interrogation of Kian84 about his absence from Season 2 of Kian's B&B. What appears to be a light-hearted moment actually reveals a familiar trait of Jin, using humor as a mechanism to control the atmosphere. In the highly scrutinized Korean entertainment industry, where every word can be dissected, Jin's quick wit in calling out Kian84 is not just for laughs, but also a way to steer the conversation away from sensitive areas like scheduling conflicts or strategic decisions. Yet beneath that humor, the truth surfaces: his packed schedule made participation impossible. This explanation may not be new, but it carries different weight now, as Jin has fully returned to active artistry following a period of interruption. A global machine operating at full capacity. One of the most striking aspects of the conversation is Kian84's genuine surprise at Jin's workload. As someone outside the idol ecosystem, his reaction reflects a broader reality. Jin is currently functioning as a global brand. Preparing a solo album, participating in tours, and appearing across numerous advertising campaigns point to a familiar strategy of BTS, maximizing individual activities to sustain momentum between group milestones. However, what makes this narrative compelling is not the intensity of the schedule, but how Jin frames it. There is no complaint, no dramatization. He describes it as a new normal. This signals a critical transition, from adaptation to acceptance. Freedom, a rare luxury for a global idol. Amid the relentless pace of work, simple moments, eating gimbap, playing games, casual conversation, become highlights. What Jin emphasizes most is freedom, a concept that is almost paradoxical within the tightly managed K-pop system. For most idols, every action is curated. Yet with Kian84, Jin finds a rare safe zone where he can momentarily step outside the role of a global superstar. At a deeper level, this is more than friendship, it is a psychological balancing mechanism. Spaces like this are essential for maintaining mental stability under constant pressure. A confession and a turning point after 7 years. The most unexpected moment comes when Jin admits he once considered quitting after 7 years in the industry. In K-pop, the 7-year mark is often associated with the so-called contract curse, but for Jin, it represented something more profound, an identity crisis. Debuting at 22, later than many idols, Jin entered the industry with less room for trial and error. The rapid success of BTS intensified the pressure, pushing him forward without much time for reflection. What changed was not the environment, but his perspective. When Jin says his joy in music has grown over time, it is not a cliché, it reflects a genuine process of redefining his personal purpose. He transitioned from pursuing a career to living with a career. Ararang, more than just an album. In the final segment, when Jin mentions BTS's upcoming album Ararang, the narrative moves to another level of meaning. Ararang is not just a title. In Korean culture, it symbolizes longing, separation, and hope for reunion. Choosing this name for a comeback after nearly 4 years is not merely a branding decision, it is an emotional statement. It reflects the unique bond between BTS and their fans, where time does not weaken connection but deepens it. From a market perspective, this is also a strategic move, blending traditional cultural identity with a global narrative to create something both intimate and universally resonant. Jin, from worldwide handsome to a mature artist. Looking at the conversation as a whole, a clear transformation emerges in Jin's image. He is no longer just worldwide handsome, a persona once tied to playful confidence, but is evolving into a more introspective, self-aware artist. This maturity is not expressed through grand declarations, but through subtle details, how he talks about his schedule, a simple meal, or the feeling of freedom when working with a friend. These nuances make Jin feel more relatable, yet also more complex, a person learning to balance public expectations with personal needs. Conclusion: when fame is no longer the center. Ultimately, Jin's meeting with Kian84 is not just entertainment content. It serves as a case study of how a global star recalibrates to sustain longevity in a demanding industry. Here, fame is no longer the focal point. Instead, what stands out is resilience, adaptability, and most importantly, self-awareness. And perhaps that is the real reason Jin continues moving forward, not because he has to, but because he genuinely chooses to.